Hello and welcome to On Point. I'm Karthikeya Sharma. Today we have 3 On Points lined up for you. In On Point 1, big win for Rahul Gandhi. 6-hour standoff ends. Delhi police registered a FIR against unknown persons in Pellet gun case. In On Point 2, Manipur shut as controversy over NRC and census refused to subside. Multiple groups demand NRC before census. In On Point 3, Health Minister JP Nadda calls for a high-level meeting on H1N1. Spread is 3 times more than 2025. And now let's take a quick look at 2 very important headlines. Andhra Pradesh MP's son booked after his Aston Martin allegedly killed a 26-year-old mall employee in Hyderabad. Two vessels carrying a total of 22 Indian nationals hijacked in separate incidents off Yemen and Somalia. MEA says India in touch with concerned authorities, confirms all crew members reportedly safe. Rahul Gandhi forces Delhi police is the headline, is the story of the day. Delhi police had to file an FIR against unknown people in the Delhi pellet gun case. Mr. Gandhi took everyone by surprise when he walked inside the police station with the family of the victim. According to Congress, Sahil first submitted a written complaint on 14th August and followed it up on the 17th August but did not receive an FIR number or acknowledgement. Rahul Gandhi then accompanied him to the police station, and when his demand was not accepted, he decided to sit on a dharna outside DCP's office. Let me play out Rahul Gandhi's bite first.
ये न्याय का पहला कदम है, केस लॉन्च हुआ है। देखिए, जब से आपको ये गोली लगी 20 जुलाई, आज 1 महीना हो गया। छर्रे शरीर में है, 3 छर्रे आंख में है, आंख से इनको दिखाई नहीं देता है, 3-4 छर्रे दिल के पास है। साफ दिख रहा है कि एक युवा के साथ अन्याय हुआ है। और तब भी आज सुबह 11, 11:30 बजे हम यहाँ आए। 1 महीने से ये घूम रहे हैं। 11:30 बजे आए, अभी 6:30 बज गए हैं। पौने 7 हो गए। तब जाके FIR फाइल किए। अब आप इमेजिन कीजिए, इस देश में कितने महिलाओं का बलात्कार होता है, रेप होता है, कितने बच्चों को मारा जाता है, कितने लोगों को गोली मारी जाती है, कितने लोगों के शरीर में छर्रे होते हैं। ये न्यू दिल्ली, बिल्कुल दिल्ली के बीच में पुलिस स्टेशन है, यहाँ पे न्याय नहीं मिल रहा।
The Congress has made this a larger question of police accountability. The party says Sahil suffered serious pellet injuries, including damage to one eye, and is demanding that the alleged use of force be investigated through an FIR. But the BJP has strongly rejected Rahul Gandhi's approach. BJP leader Ravi Shankar Prasad accused Gandhi of indulging in what he called the politics of anarchy. The BJP also claims that an FIR has already been registered in connection with the incident and that the matter is being investigated. BJP pointed out that the Supreme Court has already constituted a 5-member high-powered committee headed by former Judge Justice R. Subhash Reddy to examine allegations of police excess during the protest. The committee is expected to examine allegations involving pellet guns, electric baton, lathi charges, tear gas and other crowd control measures. But first, let me play out the entire visual sequence that encapsulates the day.
It's legal. He's requesting an FIR.
Sir, already submitted.
No. He is requesting an individual FIR for this bullet, for the pellet injury. Okay, very simple. You are not doing it?
Sir,
okay, let's do. I'm telling you what's going to happen. नहीं मैं बता रहा हूँ आपको होगा, तो आप समझ लीजिए. I will go outside. I will sit there until the FIR is done. I will sit there 1 day, 2 days, 3 days, 5 days, 10 days, 20 days. Your government will have a problem. सलमान साहब की पीसी हो गई।
ये बहुत दुर्भाग्य की बात है कि राहुल गांधी विपक्ष के नेता हैं और अब सिर्फ लोकतांत्रिक राजनीति नहीं, अराजकता की राजनीति करते हैं। अभी वो दिल्ली के पार्लियामेंट्री स्ट्रीट पुलिस स्टेशन पर धरना बैठे हुए हैं, बिना अनुमति के, बिना किसी पूर्व सूचना के। कभी प्रधानमंत्री के घर के सामने बैठ जाते हैं और अभी फिर यहां बैठ गए हैं। पुलिस सूत्रों से जो जानकारी मिली है कि जिस घटना का वो संदर्भ दे रहे हैं उसकी शिकायत हो चुकी है, वो जांच का विषय है। और सबसे बड़ी बात यह है कि जो लोग पीड़ित थे वो सुप्रीम कोर्ट गए और सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने स्वयं एक हाई पावर्ड कमेटी बनाई है जिसकी अध्यक्षता एक रिटायर्ड सुप्रीम कोर्ट के जज कर रहे हैं। उसमें 2 जज और हैं, एक सीबीआई के पूर्व डायरेक्टर हैं और एक और बड़े अधिकारी हैं। तो इतनी हाई पावर्ड कमेटी में यह भी जांच का विषय होगा कि गोली चली या नहीं चली। तो ये क्या मतलब है इसका? आपको नियम कानून का कोई सम्मान नहीं करना राहुल गांधी। जो आपके मन में आएगा तो बस जहां जाके धरने पर बैठ जाएंगे और अराजकता फैलाना शुरू करेंगे।
On this issue, I am joined by my 4 very eminent guests. And the question is simple: is this a big win for Rahul Gandhi? I am joined by Yashowardhan Azad. Thank you, sir, so much for joining me on this show. I am also joined by Professor Chambik Puranik, Advocate Arshpreet Khadial, spokesperson Congress Party, and Sandeep Pukan from The Hindu, who tracks the Congress. Let me straight away go to the Congress spokesperson first. Mr. Khadial, a big victory for the Congress Party today?
A big victory for the youth of the country is what I would rather say, because Sahil lost an eye. He was hit with pellets. Vital part was targeted. It's been more than a month since the occurrence took place, but there is an inordinate delay. There is an unjustified delay of more than 30 days in lodging of the FIR. Number one, why was the FIR not registered 30 days prior, 25 days prior? It should have been, because in law they say justice delayed is justice denied. And number two, the evidence, the witnesses, the entire case, it is supposed to go quick and fast so that it is not tampered with, so that there is no influencing happening, there is no tampering happening with the witnesses, with the evidence, etc. So one has to go quick about it, not extremely slow about it. But if the Bharatiya Janata Party was in actuality pro-youth and not anti-youth, the Bharatiya Janata Party itself would have directed the police to register an FIR, but they have only created obstacles. And look at the Home Minister of the country. For 19 days, he did not show up in the parliament. He did not even utter a word as to why pellets were ordered. My simple question to the BJP spokesperson is, just one line, if I may. The question of this debate is, who ordered the use of pellets and who ordered that vital parts ought to be targeted, eyes ought to be targeted? Because the SOPs say that even if you are to restrain somebody, you are supposed to hit them in the leg. You're not supposed to hit them in the face.
We will go face by face. We will go face by face. The question was it a big win? You said it's a big win for Rahul Gandhi. I'm joined by someone who has served in the Intelligence Bureau, someone who has been the Information Commissioner, Yashowardhan Azad. Mr. Azad, the spokesperson of the government, they went on record to say that the probe is on. They said it's a dharna politics. But do you think that it was an inordinate delay, unnecessary, if I may use the word? FIR could have just been filed on its, in a normal course of things, rather than the leader of opposition, Lok Sabha, had to come down to the Parliament Street police station. What's your assessment?
See, my assessment is the problem is that if the police is using pellet guns in discharge of its duties, that is crowd control, then you cannot lodge an FIR straight away. Now, the problem is being compounded in this case because the government has not admitted and not made a statement at all, which is rightly pointed out by the previous speaker. If the government would have said that yes, the pellet guns have been used as been shown by the injuries, then obviously it will be a question of inquiry whether the police used it in the circumstances which has been directed by Swami, that is, it was absolutely necessary, and the proportionality, and that it was legal. Because mind you, the use of pellet guns has still not been banned. 2018, the minister said in Parliament that that the pellet guns have not been banned. It is used as a second last resort, and 3-day training has been given how to use it. The problem is that it was used in 2010 and 2016, and there were so many injuries, 6,000, that the MHA is full of that report. But it was never used in the mainland. So if it was used in the mainland for the first time, then the government should have answered why it has been used. But by not saying anything, the problem is compounded. And therefore, if a person goes and says that this man has been hit, then naturally an FIR will have to be registered. Unless you say it was used and in discharge of the duties, and now we will see the judicial inquiry will prove whether it was correctly used or not used.
Okay, Mr. Azad, since you have served in police, I'll read out a portion which number of papers have published. मैं हिंदी का मैं आपको पढ़ के बताता हूँ. उसमें ये बेसिकली बात ये बोली है कि मामला इसलिए जटिल हो सकता है, which can become complex because और मैं कोट अनकोट कह रहा हूँ अमर उजाला को, केस की जांच के दौरान दिल्ली पुलिस के 2 डीसीपी रडार पे रहेंगे. इन्होंने ही आरपीएफ को पैलेट गन एवं दूसरे फायर आर्म्स चलाने का अधिकार दिया था. उसमें यह भी कोट किया जा रहा है कि केस जटिल बन सकता है क्योंकि इसमें दिल्ली पुलिस के अलावा सीआरपीएफ की विशेष इकाई रैपिड एक्शन फोर्स भी शामिल है. जांच करते समय यह बात भी ध्यान में रखनी है कि दिल्ली पुलिस जिस केंद्रीय बल को कानून व्यवस्था की स्थिति बनाए रखने के लिए बुलाती है, वो उसकी तैनाती की कार्रवाई के लिए भी जिम्मेदार होती है. सो in this, there is a complex chain of command, Mr. Azad, involved.
No, it's the clarity. No. There is a absolute clarity about the chain of command in this case.
Okay.
RAF, which is a part of the CR, is a crowd control specialist. It is called by all the state governments. So, because it was not banned, somebody carried it on a pulse. But in the operation theatre, the operational command lies with the concerned DCP. So, on DCP's orders, the RF deputy commandant fired that pellet gun. And this is exactly what has been reported in the general diary of the Parliament Police Station. And the injuries shown by the hospital prove that the pellet gun was used and that the injuries were caused by the pellet gun.
You know, you wrote the book Policing the Republic. You have argued on the graded response in terms of crowd management. You feel that it was breached in Delhi, the graded response?
Yeah, you see, where exactly it was used, there has to be clarity. I think it was used in Connaught Place. Now, was Connaught Place was in a supercharged atmosphere at that time? Were the policemen really getting threatened, get overawed, overwhelmed? Now, these are the issues which have to be checked.
Okay.
Only then you can make a statement. It would be premature to say, I did abandon.
Let me take a ringside perspective from Sandeep Pukan, who has been covering Congress party, covers Parliament also. Sandeep, is there a similarity between what happened at the gate of the Prime Minister's residence and Parliament Police Street Thana? And secondly, are we going to see more of this?
Yeah. First of all, Kartikeya, I just wanted to tell you that this story of Sahil Locha and the use of pellet gun was actually first broken by The Hindu, by my very bright and talented colleagues Vijeta Singh and Ashna Bhutani. At that point of time as well, the Delhi police had denied the use of pellet guns. But after the report was actually printed, thereafter, way past midnight, I think this was used on July 20th, so this is sometime past 22nd of July, the Parliament Street police station actually registered an FIR against unnamed officials. And it was a complaint, not an FIR, a complaint was lodged by the RAF. The use of pellet gun was actually, as per that report published in the Hindu, was actually given by the RAF. So, and then, of course, since then, we've been following up this case. And so has the leader of the opposition. And we've seen earlier he met with Sahil Lochab. And today, there was an element of surprise. Now, coming to your specific question that, is this going to happen more? Well, exactly a month ago, on July 21st, Rahul Gandhi actually had this element of surprise. It was Mr. Kharge's birthday. He had called all his MPs that please come to Congress President's house. We will have a small cake cutting. Not one MP, other than 3 or 4 people who were in the know, that is KC Venugopal, Rahul Gandhi's own personal aide, Mr. Alankar Sawai, Priyanka Gandhi. Nobody else, and Mr. Kharge, of course. Nobody else knew. Only these 4 or 5 people knew what the plan was. They all gathered at Mr. Kharge's official residence at Rajaji Marg. They had that cake cutting thing. And then after that, because mind you, Mr. Kharge had actually officially announced that he is not going to celebrate his birthday in view of the violence that happened and the action against protesting students. So it did come as a surprise to many other people. And that, why are they calling for a cake cutting when it was already announced? So when these people reached there, then suddenly Rahul Gandhi decided that he will walk down just a short distance from his official residence to the, the back entrance of Lok Kalyan Marg, the Prime Minister's residence. And he sat on a dharna. There was a complete, he had not only taken the intelligence network, the Delhi police, and the security apparatus by surprise. He had also taken his own colleagues by surprise. And exactly a similar playbook or template was played out today, where he, out of the blue, he just lands up in one police station, and then I think he went to Mandir Marg first, and then after that he went to the DCP's office in Parliament. And then eventually, after 6 to 8 hours, eventually the Delhi police had to give in. Is this going to happen more? From the opposition's perspective, they would like to do this more and more, where the government appears as if they have given in to the demands of the opposition.
This is happening in a row. But Professor Puranik, there's another aspect which, and you can say that I'm wrong. The press conference of Ravi Shankar Prasad, sort of not a press conference, his media note, and media appearance of Smriti Irani, they were not overtly aggressive. You look at the demeanor, you look at the tone, Chambi, and you look at the words used, not aggressive. I think it's a departure from what happened at Jantar Mantar. Why? What's your assessment?
I agree with you, but prior to this, I would say Mr. Azad has mentioned about the matter being sub judice. It's under inquiry and all that. But Karthikeyan, you must see Rahul Gandhi in a different perspective or style also. Our previous panelists mentioned about surprises. I'm not surprised by this optics or theatrics of Rahul Gandhi, because he has found a new constituency in the Gen Z. So that new constituency is trying to identify and connect, but they don't trust him. But still, he will not hesitate to enter into various issues of protest and all that. See, there are so many issues which Gen Z is taking, not only the examination, education, corruption, and the kind of job unemployment, etc., etc. These are all 10 to issues that are there. But will Rajiv Gandhi Rahul Gandhi be able to show that he is genuinely concerned about these issues, because his role as leader of the opposition in the parliament is different from what he is performing now. He goes to the police station for the sake of the boy who is injured because of pellets and all that. So he wants the FIR to be, but it is not just for the sake of sympathy or concern, but he wants to give an uptick, a message to the youth that you trust me, I am there with you, and that you are.
Professor, do you disagree or agree? Has he hit a purple patch, Rahul Gandhi?
I think he is trying to launch it, but exposing the whatever lapses of government, including the excessive use of police force and all that, that's one thing. But he has not come to the level of giving expectation to the people of the country and even in the parliament, whether he is going to be a good alternative for governance. The issues of governance he has not taken. He has taken the issues which bring him more publicity and a connection with the youth and all.
I think I should take that position. Does it really matter, Ashdeep? Does it really matter today?
You see, the fact of the matter is, before I touch upon that, I want to clarify one thing so that everybody understands this thing, that if today's FIR would have not been needed, if there was already an FIR that was existing, if there was already a case that was existing, the FIR that was lodged today after the intervention of the leader of opposition, after the dharna, after the protest, this FIR would have not happened. It would have not been possible for the police to register an FIR if there already existed one. Number one. Now, number two is that why did it have to take the LOP's intervention? That goes on to expose the Bharatiya Janata Party's government. That goes on to show how much nafrat the Bharatiya Janata Party's government carries towards the youth of the country, the students of the country. Now, this individual is 20 years old. He wanted to become a police officer. He was studying and preparing for competitive exams. And now he has been blinded in one eye. His eye has been lost. Who is to be held responsible for this? Whose accountability ought to be fixed? And if the Bharatiya Janata Party cannot do anything about this case, how do we expect them to do justice in the other cases where the arms are full of pellets, where the faces are full of pellets, where women have been targeted with sticks? Even the Delhi High Court had to ask the police to file a reply as to why were spikes put on lathis. And then, other than that, you see the internet was shut down, the metros were shut down, the water was shut down, the toilets were shut down. The BJP government left no stone unturned.
Mr. Khadial, I followed this story from the morning, but there's a sub story here, and I really don't want to miss that story. Sandeep, being in a TV newsroom, you get to monitor feeds, continuously. It's like a panopticon. You have been part of the TV industry. Online feed, the TV feed, the YouTube feed, the socials. The sort of aggression which came from the BJP handles in Jantar Mantar, I didn't see it today. I was on this story from the time the flash came on that group, whoever has covered the Congress party, I am also on that he's going to Parliament Street Police Station. That has not happened. What is your assessment? I find it remarkably different that this happened. This is happening post BJP organizational reject. You go through the X lines, you go through the social lines on Insta. It's not happening. Only 2 spokespersons were deployed. 2.
So 2 things. One is that the BJP, first of all, they've done their homework from the Jantar Mantar protests. So they would not want to be seen as anti-student. It's one thing to be seen as anti-Congress or anti-Rahul Gandhi. Quite another thing to be seen as anti-student, which is why their articulation is that there was already an FIR. To the best of my knowledge, there was a complaint against unknown officials. There was no FIR. And in this case, it is the victim who wanted to lodge an FIR and carry forward the process of justice, which he was being denied earlier. And you would have seen his lawyer, that young lady lawyer, she was actually narrating the sequence of events that she went from this station to that station and eventually even to the crime branch. But she did not, but to no avail. So that was one important aspect. So I think the BJP would not want to be seen as anti-student. Yes, certainly they will take
You know,
on.
Sandeep, I also expected in morning that their entire contingent might land up either in Model Town or Talkatora. Actually, so, you know, we were thinking of deploying reporters there. You know, this is a drill you have done. This is a drill you do. You know, अगर ऐसा होगा तो ऐसा करेंगे, उसको वहाँ सब लोगों को deploy कर देंगे. But it didn't happen. You know, I didn't even find a lot of police deployment in the feed also. You look at the feeds of Jantar Mantar and you look at the feed today. Basic police deployment, RAF, it was all absent. You recall, I think 5 or 6 years ago, he tried holding a dharna. I think 8 years ago. और क्या हुआ था रात को? He couldn't even come out of the bus.
Yeah. No, so I agree, but see, मतलब जहाँ तक मुझे मेरा सोचना है that they should, first of all, it shouldn't have come to this. The point is that you know, the UPA actually faced these kind of issues, and when Mr. Kejriwal would go and sit on a dharna, and you know, they actually took several missteps in their time. So if administration and if governance is about continuity, it's about learning, then the NDA government should have quickly taken notes and should have registered. See, if they had to register an FIR, as is the case, then they could have done it, you know, in an hour's time, maybe. But you know, that the order came some, you know, obviously from higher ups, and Mr. Gandhi claims that it came from the Home Secretary and the Minister of Home Affairs. So it took 6 to 8 hours. In the process, Mr. Gandhi got uninterrupted visual footage coverage of the media.
Uninterrupted is the word.
Uninterrupted visual coverage of the media for 8 hours. So in this perspective, I don't see any BJP, and they have done this correctly. I don't see any BJP spokesperson or Twitter handle or anybody should aggressively go against the LOP who's trying to get a FIR registered.
Or is it because of the fact, you know, you can also take that later, Sandeep, that this particular 6.5 hours, generally BJP frames any political fight from an ideological perspective, you know, Andolan GV or, you know, anti-national or, you know, not in service to the nation. Professor Puranik, you know, they didn't frame it ideologically. Even if you go by word of what the spokesperson said, they have not framed it ideologically, this particular incident. And I find it a departure. As a journalist, I'm saying I really find it a departure.
You know, I think BJP is also very cautious, you know, how to tackle this new Rahul Gandhi. And I think Rahul Gandhi is trying to show through this kind of optics, more so in the police station, you know, the kind of visuals he has, been able to spread across. I think he's now he's trying to show that he's more humanized.
Don't blame me for spreading the visual. You know, I just did my job. I didn't spread the visual. The visuals were already there. They were being streamed on the YouTube channels, boss.
No, I'm saying how Rahul Gandhi tries to make use of it. You know, the media is there, and you know, social media, internet, and all that. I think Rahul Gandhi knows about this new connect. But I think there are two. Is Rahul Gandhi trying to create about youth, but also the issues he has rising. You know, so therefore, police excess, corruption, unemployment, education, need, you know, all these things are very sensitive and explosive issues. So he has got the list of issues which the youth have identified, and there is no action involved in it, and no parliamentary leader or leader of LOP has come to up to this level. So that he wants to show that he is more directly connected with the youth, and he is ready to take the issues against the government. So I think as a what he could not achieve.
I must say this. You know, Arshdeep, you know, you wanted to comment. I don't know whether Mr. Fadnavis is aware of it or, whether it's been done. When Vijay was campaigning in Tamil Nadu, for every rally, he had to fulfill 25, 30, 35 conditions. In this Chhatro Ki Goonj program, I went through a paper clipping in which Mr. Gandhi, for the program which is being organized in Pune, has to fulfill 30 conditions. This I find very strange now in politics that, people in opposition needs to fill so many conditions. Mr. Khadial first and then I'll take the comments from Sandeep Pukan.
Well, see, the BJP spokesperson, I do not see him here because the Bharatiya Janata Party has nothing to answer upon. The Bharatiya Janata Party has no answers. They are afraid of the questions. Therefore, they are not joining the debates. Therefore, they're not willing to come into the field and face us because they know they're exposed. They know they are anti-youth and the people know it. The youth knows it. They are the ones who call the Gen Z. This individual, like I told you, is 20-year-old. He's a part of the Gen Z. And what does the BJP say about the Gen Z? That they are gutter chap. Their MP, their senior leader said that they are gutter chap, that they are ugly, they are corrupt, they can't be homemakers. They flaunt the freedom to do drugs. They flaunt the freedom to do drinks. And no action at all whatsoever gets taken against them. Number two, the Bharatiya Janata Party, if it was serious about the youth, if it was serious about their human rights, if it was serious about their constitutional rights, they, number one, wouldn't have let 152 paper leaks happen in the first place. They wouldn't have let 22 suicides happen post the NEET paper leaks exam. Okay. Number three, if the students were protesting, they wouldn't have turned a deaf ear to it. They would have listened to it. But it took so many weeks, more than a month's time for it to be resolved. And till date, the demands have still not been met with. Mind you, at the time of farmers' protest, Mr. Modi had made a U-turn on the farm laws and 6 promises were made to the farmers. MSP would be given, compensation would be given, etc. Till date, they are not. And the Gen Z, the youth, the students of the country are also awaiting when will the 2 demands be met with. The compensation would be given
but
and the cases would be taken back.
Mr. Khadial, it's far more complex than that. There's a Gen Z protest which took place in Ranchi. Gen Z protest is taking place in Rajasthan where a couple of guys got beaten up. Now, what is being contested is who was that guy? Were they villagers? Was it spontaneous? Was there a politician behind it? I'm not going to get into it. But Sandeep, is this for the Congress's taking? I mean to say that there is an unrest, there is discontent. My question to you is this for the Congress taking?
Absolutely. Let me narrate an incident that happened closed doors, which I have reported in the Hindu. On 19th August, the Congress Working Committee, when it met, Mr. Gandhi actually, there was a very detailed and elaborate discussion on the student protest and the way forward, etc. He made 2 observations. He actually chided his colleagues and said, how many of you actually went to Jantar Mantar protests? And because there was, if you recall, Kartike, there was a view within the Congress before 20th of July. After 20th of July and the police action, everything changed. But before 20th of July, there was a view that the Cockroach Janata Party was actually a proxy for Aam Aadmi Party. And the party should maintain a safe distance, and it took Mrs. Sonia Gandhi's prodding to actually, for the Congress to issue a statement in favor of Sonam Wangchuk. So, Congress had maintained its distance. At the CWC meet, Mr. Gandhi told his colleagues that how many of you actually have met students. I have met more students than any one of you present here. Then he mentioned that there was a straw poll done by his team and Kanhaiya Kumar's team, the NSUI Youth Congress. And they found that the students were looking towards the Congress and leadership to bring about the changes that they have been asking for in educational reforms, etc. So it is very clear that this is going to be the way forward. And they have already announced that they are going to expand the Chhatro Ki Goonj program to 800 places, cities and towns, and not all 800 will be addressed by Mr. Gandhi. So it will also involve several other leaders who would join in. So yeah, this is a key focus area, and I think as one of our panelists, respected professor said, he's trying to build this as a constituency for the Congress. Don't forget that by 2029, I read somewhere, the 370 million voters would be in this age bracket of
Yes,
18.
you are correct. Gen Z voters.
Yeah, in 2029, so that's 37 crores.
Absolutely.
Biggest chunk.
Absolutely. I think I have no comment saying that Mr. Gandhi today actually hit a purple patch. Okay, Chambi, 30 seconds.
You see, this street level advocacy, I think, is a very handy tool for Congress, because Congress has not made that much impact to be an alternative to NDA. So the India Alliance itself has a lot of, dissensions or the kind of matters which challenge them. But now Rahul Gandhi is trying to go to the street level kind of protests and all that, and his Yuva, what is that, Bharat Joda Yatra, it did not click. In the electoral performance, only 3 to 4%, from 19 to 22% votes he could get it. But beyond that, he could not make big numbers in the parliament. So therefore, I think the Congress party has got a little more kind of elaborate arrangement. But this advocacy through street protests and going into specific issues. But what are the issues that they are going to take? The legitimate issues are.
But Mr. Puranik, I have to say that, I have to quote Ram Manohar Lohia, if a bigger party develops an efficient system of electoral management like Congress did in 60s, then there is no way that a party which does not have that sort of resource will be able to match them in elections. The only way out for them is to hit the street in between elections, which the socialists did in 60s and 70s. And Indira Gandhi is on record, election mein jeetती हैं और ये यहाँ सड़कों पे तमाशा करते. But the fact is, that is the only dissent that is available for the opposition parties. You can't grudge it, because that is part of the our democratic structure. That protest on the street cannot be grudged and delegitimized. I really run short of time. I thank you all of you for.
It's a constitutional right, Karthike. It's a constitutional right.
Yes.
Nobody can take that away.
You cannot delegitimize that. You cannot delegitimize street protests. It is the constitutional right. And on this note, I thank Mr. Khadial for joining me, Mr. Pukkan for joining me, and Professor Puranik for joining me. I think today is the day that was won by Rahul Gandhi. I think that's all I had to say at the end of this show. But don't go away, because on the other side, we're going to talk about this huge NRC controversy that has erupted in Manipur.
Belfast, a sudden act of violence, and within hours, a city was pulled into chaos. What began as a stabbing has now ignited nights of